Alrighty, James. Good to see you in Tampa. Incredible race. We got to start out by talking about your brother's incredible win. I saw on NXT bets $100 would have gotten 2,500 to return. Pretty good night for the family.
Coming in Tampa, I felt like just the way that track layout was, and considering how Malcom usually rides on these hard packs, I thought he would do well. I got to see him a little bit on press day, and let's be honest, like he needed some kind of spark. Well, he had a spark in Tampa. I think we were all kind of like, it's about time, but at the same time, we're like, man, like we were all kind of shocked. So just shows you how crazy the season is. I mean, we had the up and downs all day long with Eli Tomac being hurt, the fact that Jet Lawrence was out. There was so much going on, but Malcom kind of saved the day for a lot of different reasons. And it was really amazing to watch, actually.
It sure was an amazing day to watch. And man, good point. Lots of ups and downs. Hey, we're moving forward this weekend to Detroit. Malcolm's coming in initially at a 9,500, 9,515. That would be one heck of a payout this weekend. So we'll have to see if he can make it happen in Detroit. He has finished second there in 2022. But let's talk about Detroit. We've had some disastrous weekends for riders up there, James. In 2022, we had Jason Anderson, Cooper Webb, and Chase Sexton all with DNFs for one reason or another. I mean, a tough collision between Webb and Sexton. In 2023, I mean, how can we forget Aaron Plessinger leading for 20 laps and then crashes, and then Sexton ends up docked for jumping on a red class flag. What is it about Detroit? Is it a track? Is it the cold temperatures in February? What is it, James?
Well, I can tell you from just, it's the type of soil it's unique for, an East Coast track, because it has a lot of ruts, but the ruts get hard and it just makes you uncomfortable. So any minute, like anything that's, if your suspension's just a tad off, well, when you go to Detroit and with those types of soil, it brings it out. And so I think what happened to Eli, things that he was coming off the injury, not being comfortable on the Yamaha, well, it showed his head. And then, a couple years prior, you had Jason Anderson landing, and you think of Detroit, you think of rutted East Coast, that ruts, a mile deep. Well, you have that, but then you also have that soil like Anaheim, where it's, hard and slippery. Jason landed off the finish line, washed his front end, went night. So it's just a really difficult place to get a bike set up. And usually you got to be, pretty comfortable being uncomfortable. And so, Detroit always brings it, whether it's 8 Mile and Eminem or, all these guys out there doing their thing. It's definitely a difficult racetrack to be a part of.
Well, we got two guys sitting 1-2 in the championship that are now the favorites heading in. You got Chase Sexton. He's looking at 101 on the odds. You got Cooper Webb. He's got 255 on odds as we're rolling into the weekend. These guys have had some hit or misses in Detroit. Cooper Webb's finishes in the 5 years he's been there, 13th, second, 22nd, second, and fourth. Like, pretty mixed bag, but he's had some success. Chase Sexton, 22nd. He won, and then he got second. What do you think? Can these guys tame that dirt, tame the variable conditions? Which one of these guys looks good to you following Tampa Bay?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kind of shocked to see Chase go down like he did. I heard maybe there were some issues with the bike, who knows? But still, that was the old school kind of Chase Sexton. So maybe it was a bike issue or whatnot. But when you're asking me, like, you look at the points, Chase, he extended his points lead. So in hindsight, it's a win, right? No, I feel like Cooper Webb, even though, he was a distance third, luckily Chase went down, he ended up second. I feel like this is going to lead towards him just because, just that mindset. I think Cooper's in a good spot. And I really think, as they used to say in Friday, he had mind control over Debo. Well, I feel like Cooper Webb has that mind control, and you're going to see it play out this weekend. So if I'm leaning towards somebody, at number two, he might be number one this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you can never count Cooper Webb out of it, especially on these East Coast tracks where he just is so good. Well, I'm looking forward to the battle. Guys, make sure you check out NXT Bets. Check the latest odds. They sometimes shift throughout the week, or your local sports book. And James, looking forward to watching Detroit this weekend, bud.
Same here. Good luck, guys.
Well, that's it. I think we've given you everything you could possibly need to know before the Detroit round of Monster Energy Supercross, except when the race takes place and where you can watch it. This is a day race. I cannot stress that enough. This is a day race on Eastern time. So race day live qualifying coverage begins at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and the racing begins at 3 o'clock Eastern. That's the similar schedule to what we had last year when we went to Detroit, if that makes it any more easily understood. It is a day race. There will be a re-air on Sunday afternoon on NBC at 2 o'clock Eastern. Of course, you can watch everything live on Peacock and or the SMX Video Pass if you live outside the United States. So that's when, and we know where, and we think we know a lot coming into this race. But if the last 2 weekends have shown us anything, JT, it doesn't matter what we thought we know. It changes in a hurry.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.